How are we feeling, folks? We are back in from the break on the hottest show on the streets, the best form of Alabama football news, notes, and information in My Own Words, the podcast with yours truly, Stephen M. Smith of Touchdown Alabama magazine. And as a reminder, folks, if you haven't done so already, don't forget to smash the like button, drop a thumbs up on the show, and hit subscribe also on the YouTube channel. That tells us at TDA that we got to continue getting you the best news, notes, and coverage on your Crimson Tide. But we dive into the 3 reasons why this Alabama defense will be better in the upcoming season. And starting this off with reason number 1, Alabama's going to have experience back up front. If you dive into the championship years of the Nick Saban era, 2009, 2011, 2012, 2015, and 2017, one of the biggest common denominators has been Alabama having experience along the defensive front, whether this is at defensive end, defensive tackle, inside linebacker, outside linebacker, you name it, the experience has been up front. And when you look at this upcoming season here, it's back to sort of that moniker on the defensive line. LeBron Ray is back, somebody of whom sustained a foot injury in 2019, but back as now a redshirt junior out of James Clemens High School in Madison, and a guy that's very, he's played a lot of football, instinctive, good pass rusher, good run stopper, has played a lot of football. So having him back is a plus. Having Christian Barmore back is a plus, someone of whom, though he did not have a lot of action a season ago, but when he got into the game, you saw the will to win, the want to play, the want to make an impact, the determination to be special. 26 tackles, 6 of those for loss, 2 sacks, 5 quarterback hurries. I mean, the man was an absolute wrecking ball. And when he was not on the field, you felt it because he would have an absolute tantrum on the sidelines within his own self. So having Christian Barmore back is a big deal. And then you got Dylan Moses, the captain of the Alabama defense, who was ready for the 2019 season. This entire defense was set up with him in mind. He got hurt in August camp, sustained a serious knee injury, did not get a chance to play, but has an opportunity to not only relive his junior year, but he gets a chance to relive his junior year with the 2 coaches he had at IMG Academy. So Dylan Moses tickled pink to be back with his 2 coaches that will be a part of the strength and conditioning foundation of the team. So having the experience up front, it was a big deal. Now, everybody's excited about the young guys, and for every reason to be. When you bring in a Tim Smith, when you bring in a Jamil Burrows, a Jamarian Latham, a Will Anderson, a Chris Braswell, a Drew Sanders, a Quandarius Robinson, when you bring in just some nasty animals as freshmen coming in here, ready to have an impact on the football team, and not to mention your inside linebacker, freshmen in Demoy Kennedy and Jackson Bratton. Can't forget those 2 guys. But despite the freshman talent, and it's great to have the freshman talent, and it will be needed, especially for those that can step up even without probably not having a lot of opportunities to practice and get that contact in fall camp, as Nick Saban brought up the genius idea last week in a teleconference with reporters about how Alabama could have 14 practices to where it's more so teachable moments, kind of like how the NFL does with OTAs, where you're not having a lot of contact. It's helmets, shorts, and shirts, and you are teaching technique. You are teaching fundamentals. You are showing, as Nick Saban likes to say, what to do, how to do it, what to do it, how to do it, and why it's important to do it that way. So Nick Saban brought that idea to the table. It's a very good idea. And once again, although these freshmen may not have the amount of practices they would like to have, those that are able to make an impact, Nick Saban mentioned, we're playing all the guys that are willing to play winning football. And if a freshman is the guy that can put us in the best spot to play winning football, Alabama has never shied away. It has never been afraid. It has never been scared to play true freshmen. But even though you got those guys, having that experience back up front is a big deal for Alabama. That was be my first reason. Second reason as to why you will see this defense improve is the dynamic duo of sports performance, that being David Ballou and Dr. Matt Ray. And these two guys at Indiana, or 3 years together at Indiana, they were able to take 2- and 3-star guys and maximize the utmost effort, production, and performance from those players. Got those guys faster, bigger, stronger, as the Hoosiers were very competitive last season, going 8-5, its most wins since the 1993 season. So if they can take blue chippers, right? If they can take 2- and 3-stars, because you got to think, Indiana maybe lucks up and gets a 4-star every blue moon, every now and again. So when you can take majority 2- and 3-stars and get big-time football from those student athletes, just imagine for a second. Let this marinate on the cerebellum, on the brainstem for just a minute. Let this marinate on. Both guys are going to have 4- and 5-stars running around like you're shaking a tree limb at the University of Alabama. Just imagine the type of production these two guys will get with Dylan Moses, Christian Harris, Joshua McMillan, Alakaho, Shane Lee, DJ Dale, guys like Christian Barmore, LeBron Ray. You're going to definitely see the secondary get faster with Patrick Surtain II, Josh Jobe, Jalen Armour Davis, Marcus Banks, Daniel Wright, Eddie Smith, DeMarco Helms, the list goes on. So the dynamic duo in strength and conditioning of David Ballou, making sure that you are squatting correctly, that you are squatting with precision, squatting with speed, squatting with accuracy, maxing out your reps, but not tiring yourself out, and just doing things in a structural manner. And then Dr. Ray, in terms of speed development, speed training, getting guys that are already pretty much fast as lightning to now be nanosecond fast in terms of the lateral quickness, the straight line speed, and their ability to affect the passing game, the run game, and getting back to just being a disruptive defense. So the tandem of Ballou and Dr. Ray, who they're already on this whole cutting edge thing. When you look at the Apple Watches and the apps on the phone that they have provided these athletes with, and just being able to monitor and track the health and the well-being of the players, making sure that each individual guy is doing their particular workout, hitting their target goals, doing the necessary things to stay in shape during this point in time. So both of those guys are already on the cutting edge. So that would kind of be my second reason, the conditioning of Ballou and Ray. But third reason as to why this defense will be greatly improved, and this is one that not too many people are talking about. They're not bringing this up. The coaching continuity here. Usually around this time, Nick Saban would have lost a major coach on the defensive side of the football, and you, the Alabama fans, and myself included in media, would be like, oh man, not again. Can Alabama keep a coach? Can a coach stay on the roster? Can Alabama keep somebody on the stack of this deck of cards? Can Nick Saban somehow put in the contract, give me 3 years? Can we just keep a coach? Can Bama please just keep a coach? Somebody. Do I have to call Coach Smith and have Coach Smith come out here? But Alabama this time around does not have to worry about that, because the continuity has remained on the coaching staff. Alabama going into its 4th year with Pete Golding. It's going into its 3rd year with Carl Scott. It's going into its 2nd year with Charles Kelly coaching safeties. It's going into its 2nd year with Sal Sunseri at outside linebackers coach. Now, it has added some names. Freddie Roach is in the program as the defensive line coach, played at Alabama. as a linebacker from 2001 to 05, a Bama guy. And then you bring in Charlie Strong, a defensive mastermind who will be an analyst working things from behind the scenes. And then you brought on a couple of other guys from the National Football League and that have worked other places to be defensive assistants and defensive analysts. So Nick Saban has pretty much stockpiled a whole bunch of defensive guys to his arsenal just to make sure that side of the football does not have another disappointing struggle type of season. But the core of Golding, Carl Scott, Sal Sunseri, and Charles Kelly, that core remains with the Crimson Tide for another year. And that's big. That's really big because now the players get more familiarity with each of those guys. Now the players will understand what to expect from Golding, what to expect from Coach Sal, what to expect from Carl Scott, what to expect from Charles Kelly, and the communication. That's the big thing. Part of the Bama factor is communication. Got to be able to talk across the board. And having a coaching staff that's been around Nick Saban for a minute now, they know what he expects. They know what he wants. They know what this 6-time national champion, 5-time national champion at Alabama, they know what he desires. So when the coaches know what the head man desires, then they can now be able to convey it to the players, and the players can be able to channel that information amongst themselves. So it's good to have the experience back on the front line. That's a key. Number 2, the performance. The duo of sports performance guys, David Ballou and Dr. Matt Ray, and making sure that Alabama has no season-ending injuries on both sides of the ball, but in particular the defensive side of the football. And last but not least, having that continuity on the coaching staff. My 3 reasons as to why the Crimson Tide will be much improved defensively in the upcoming season. But we're going to go to another break here on In My Own Words, the podcast. But don't touch that dial. We dive into more of your phone calls, thoughts, concerns, tweets, and chats right after this.
T-Town Menswear in the University Mall in Tuscaloosa. Touchdown Alabama Magazine is Alabama football's premier publication. A subscription to Touchdown Alabama Magazine is the perfect gift for any Alabama fan. For exclusive news and information, recruiting updates, a free annual print magazine, and more, go to touchdownalabama.com and click join. Only $5.95 per month or pay $49.95 for a full year subscription. That's a saving of almost $22. Make sure to subscribe before it's too late and get our new freshly printed end of the year magazine issue. Go to touchdownalabama.com today and roll Tide.
Thank you for watching Touchdown Alabama Magazine's YouTube channel. To continue to get the best in the Alabama football content, subscribe here and turn on your notifications to stay connected with the hottest shows covering your Crimson Tide.